Zidon Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Kingdom Hearts. Specifically, we are going to be talking about what is in store for us now that we are preparing for Kingdom Hearts 4, basically. Oh, yeah, that's a thing. Before too long, we should be expecting Kingdom Hearts 4 to be on the horizons. Possibly even announced by at E3. Now, obviously, there are so many games coming from Square right now that the idea to me that Kingdom Hearts is even close to being ready is a little bit scary. I honestly don't think that they're going to be releasing any Kingdom Hearts games until 2022, but it raises a question of what is next. As of right now, we have not seen anything. And sure, a lot of these games get announced pretty late into their story, or pretty late into their development, but I keep thinking to myself, what about Kingdom Hearts 4? And what about one more game before Kingdom Hearts 4? And I do actually think that there is going to be one more game before we actually get Kingdom Hearts 4. Obviously, we've had Melody of Memory, and Nomura said that that there would be one game between Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts 4, which we assume was Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. But I still can't shake the feeling that there's going to be one more. And that game is Kingdom Hearts Key. Or something connected to the Union Cross brand, I guess, is the proper way to explain it. For those of you who aren't aware, Union Cross is the MMO that is on the phone, and a pretty crappy MMO as it is. But there is that one factor that keeps bringing me back to it. What exactly is going to be happening with this game? Is there going to be more information? Is there going to be something that is going to be better than what it is? The fact is that most people hate Union Cross, and thankfully they're just going to be compiling the entire thing into, or they're basically going to be making it into a movie format so that people can watch it from scene to scene and basically just watch through it without actually playing through it anymore. Which, thank you, because I cannot imagine actually picking up the game right now, especially considering the fact that Kingdom Hearts 3 probably brought in a lot of people, but then they heard from multiple people, including myself, that Kingdom Hearts Union Cross is way too frickin' long. With over 900 parts, it's insane. Could you imagine playing through the entire game again if you've played it already? Or even if you haven't, just think about that. 900 levels of story, and it's just, that's a lot, especially to be putting onto a phone game that has really subpar graphics. I mean, obviously they had to lower a lot of the stuff because of reasons, but at the same time, it's like, why? Why did you create this game and do it this way? Honestly, I personally would have been more happy if they had done something actually on the computer, actually made a real MMO. The thing is that Square is no newbie when it comes to MMOs at this point. They've created Final Fantasy 11 and 14. 14 is a masterpiece, and when this game was first brought out, Final Fantasy XIV was getting its second wind, and basically becoming something completely new that is honestly insane. honestly, if they had just worked a little bit with Yoshi P and the team behind Final Fantasy XIV, just to basically get their foot in the door, I'm sure that the Kingdom Hearts, they could have created a new Kingdom Hearts team that would be able to create an MMO like Union Cross, and it would have been 1,000 times better. But unfortunately, they created this abomination. And yeah, there's a lot of reasons why I'm pissed off with Union Cross, and yeah, there's way too many to go over in this video. But the fact still remains that Union Cross needs something better. It needs voice acting. It needs something to make it better. Now, I personally have been a strong proponent of when they actually create a game version of it, they, instead of taking the main story via the main character, the player character, instead they take that, they redo the story and instead focus on Ephemer, starting at the beginning of his journey and going to the point where the story has just ended. Now, at the same time, though, I would now that I actually know a little bit more, obviously there are certain things that I would be a little bit cautious with doing that. But at the same time, the fact that we didn't do something similar to that just boggles my mind. Why exactly did the player character not get involved with a lot of this stuff? It's confusing, to say the least. And the main reason why I want to play as Ephemer mostly is because having a main protagonist that doesn't talk that much, while it can be fun in certain situations, in this situation it feels odd. That it honestly feels like there are multiple moments where the player character does speak, but we don't actually get but the fact is that if we're going to be able to customize this character, then they're going to need to figure out how exactly they're going to do it. Now, they could do it in a way where basically the voice actors will... There will be two voice actors for the player character, one male, one female. And then, after that, we then focus on the rest of the cast, which will be... basically, the only things that will need to change is changing the gender in certain words, which not that hard. On top of that, there's also a lot of other factors that go into this, and it's a long process, to say the least, but it has been done multiple times in the past. I mean, take Immortals Phoenix Rising, which I'm nearing completion on, and just got it recently. This has a really good character customization, and has your basically two characters that are voiced separately, and it's succeeded really well. And again, then there is the Star Wars: The Old Republic, a great MMO that every single race and gender has their own voices. Which, what the heck? That had to take a long time to actually go through and redo the voices of every single main character protagonist. And I'm actually surprised that they have more races than many other MMOs. And each one of them has two voice actors who play them. So, could it be possible? Absolutely. And honestly, I think that it would make a lot of sense. Especially considering the fact that there is so many cutscenes that are just so long. A lot of the thing that you're going to be doing with Union Cross, especially when you're watching it, is you're going to be reading, okay, tab, and you're going to be doing that for hours on end. Even if you only watch the cutscenes that are really important to the story, and they cut out a lot of those cutscenes that had nothing to do with the story, it's still gonna be many, many hours of just doing that over and over and over again and again. And it's just, by the time that people are done with it, they're gonna be exhausted. And it's gonna take multiple days to do this. Unlike the. And it's not. It's honestly not anything like any of the games before it. Because everyone's going to be going at their own speed to read it. And it's honestly just like a book. But you're looking at a tiny screen, reading through this stuff with letters that are so small. Honestly, they're so small. It's honestly so infuriating to have to read through that. I can't imagine that there's going to be a lot of fans who are going to be excited to pick up the game once again and then go through every single cutscene once again to actually dissect every single detail that was said in it, because some of these things are going to be really important for the story moving forward, especially considering the fact that so much of what just happened goes into Dark Road, which many fans are going to be seeing information about, and they're going to be like, oh, fudge, now we're going to have to deal with Dark Road, and it's just, Dark Road is so much easier to play, but at the same time, it has so many issues that were not solved by from the previous game. And I don't know, there's a lot to it, and I don't want to get into every single detail right now, but the fact remains that it's not going to be fun for people to do. No one wants to play through Union Cross. And now with this, I think that the best option is for them to make this into a fully fledged game. Redo the cutscenes. Redo everything to make it 3D and also voice acted. Those are going to be some of the biggest things that are going to help fans play through it. Especially if you're no longer using the stupid card system or badge system, whatever it is. Because that system is universally hated. When people first saw that Key was becoming a thing and they saw it was the card system, remember, fans instantly, as soon as they saw that, were just like, no, it's another frickin' Chain of Memories. No one likes Chain of Memories. Honestly, I'm going to be mentioning this in my next video, but read the manga because it's 1,000 times better. Sure, it doesn't cover every single scene, but in that degree, watch the cutscenes on YouTube and just read the manga because it's 1,000 times better. And honestly, a lot of fans would rather do that than play through Chain of Memories again. I honestly expect that a few years from now, when more people know about the manga, they're going to be picking up the manga and saying no to that game. And probably before long, maybe Square is going to be like, oh, maybe we should actually put the cutscenes in and make them into a movie like we did with the other two really hated games. There's a lot to that, and we'll talk more about that eventually, but the point is that we need a better Union Cross, and I think that that needs to be what happens first before we actually get Kingdom Hearts 4, just because there's so much information that lies within there. And since we're coming up to E3, and Square is going to be making a lot of announcements during this time, I could imagine that this is what they're going to be one of the things that they're going to announce, that they're going to be having these two new games are in the works, and before long, they're going to be releasing one in 2022 and one in 2023, or at least that's the plan. I don't necessarily think that there's going to be a game that releases in 2021, but because of just all of the other games that Square is creating right now. But I do think that things are going to be getting really exciting moving forward. So definitely get ready to see how everything plays out for Kingdom Hearts as we draw closer to the conclusion. But anyways, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and ring that notification bell. If you guys have any thoughts or theories, please leave them down in the comments below. If you are going to leave a theory, make sure to say theory review somewhere in a comment. And of course, if you guys do want to support the channel even more, then definitely head down to the description and check out all of our links down there, including our social medias, our other channels, and ways that you can support us financially, including the merch store, our book, and our Patreon, which a big thank you to our current patron, Sheeny. But anyways, guys, I have been Electro Ninja, and I will see you guys next time. But on